Look at you with your Guinness, man. You're not, sophisticated.
Dude, Guinness is one of the most sophisticated drinks. It's a proper...
No, my granddad was a Guinness drinker and he was a fucking... He was not sophisticated. He was a good man, but he was not sophisticated.
Yeah. The drink of racists. Yeah, that tastes like no Irish to me. That tastes... Nah, I love a Guinness, man.
Yeah, I do as well, but it was the last can and you took it, so...
You offered it. You did say you had.
That's true.
So,
that is true, yeah.
Been all right?
No. Am I ever all right? No, I'll be good, man. Been good. Just cracking on, cracking on.
Nice.
What's going on with you?
Yeah, good. Just cracking on too. I had a really funny encounter earlier this week, and I told George about it, and he was like, "You have to talk about that on the podcast."
Okay, give it to me.
So, okay, basically, there's this guy I know called Sid, right? That's not actually his real name. That's his nickname.
Okay.
His real name is something different.
Not a comedian?
No.
Okay.
No.
No.
Basically, so I'm not going to bear out his real name, but basically, so it's a really random story. So about like 10 years ago, I was with this girl that I was dating at the time, and we were in McDonald's on a high street, and I
Classy.
went, yeah, I like to treat my girls right, and I let her get 2 mayo chickens, She can't eat them because that would be inappropriate,
Mayo chickens.
That's too many calories. But anyway, so I was in McDonald's and she was waiting outside, and I went and got the food. And when I came out, she was talking to this guy on a bench. She's already talking to him. I go up and I'm like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" And she goes, "Oh, hey, Ollie, this is Sid." And after a while, we get talking, and it turns out he said Sid is a nickname that everyone calls him because he looks exactly like Sid the Sloth from Ice Age. And he really does as well.
I feel like that's quite a common look, because I know a guy that looks exactly like Sid from Ice Age.
I would.
The eyes apart, right?
It is a bit, but it's also like I would honestly wager that there's no way this guy looks as much like Sid
you got
as
a
this
picture?
guy. I don't have a picture on me.
Okay, that's a shame.
But anyway, so she's talking to him, and he's an Australian guy, and he's about I must have been fucking 19. And he is probably I don't know, early 20s.
Okay.
So we get talking to him, and he's a really nice guy.
He's not homeless.
Well, this is the thing. He kind of was, but he was in hostels, I think, a little bit. He wasn't homeless.
So George.
Kind of George level.
Yeah,
he was George level.
He was semi-homeless.
Yeah.
He was.
But anyway, so we get talking, and he was a really fucking sound guy. And so the three of us ended up just going to the park and hanging out and smoking cigarettes and just fucking around and talking shit. And he was a really fun dude. And so me and him stayed in touch, and occasionally we would just hang out, right? Yeah. And one time he was from Australia. One time one of his other friends from Australia came down, and he introduced me to him, and the three of us were hanging out in this hostel one night, just drinking and taking the piss, and it was real fun.
Okay.
Really, really cool guy. Anyway, so me and him kind of just didn't speak for a while for no other reason than we just drifted or got busy or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I hadn't spoken to him in maybe, and I think he went back to Australia as well. And then he was living in Spain for a while. So it was I hadn't spoken to him for probably 10 years. Okay. But his other Australian friend, the one that I mentioned from the hostel, he follows me on Instagram, and he's followed me on Instagram for the last 10 years or so. And the other day, Sid's friend swiped up on my story, and he was like, "Oh, hey man, great to see you doing stuff." He saw some stand-up thing I was doing. I was like, "Oh, thanks, man." I was like, "How are you?" And we were catching up, and he said, "Dude, Sid would love to hear from you as well. We talk about you, a fair bit about the times in London that we had and stuff." And I was like, "Oh yeah, dude, I miss Sid. How is he?" He's like, "Yeah, he's good, man. It'd be great for you to get in touch." And I was like, "Yeah, for sure." So he gave me his number, and I called it, and then he didn't answer. And then the next day, I got a WhatsApp call, and it was a name, and I was like, "Oh, who's this?" Because obviously his name's not Sid. Yeah. And I was like, "Hello," and he goes, "Hey, Ollie," and I was like, "Oh shit, Sid," and he's like, "Hey, what's up, man?" And I'm like, "Oh, dude, what's going on?" And he was like, "Yeah." So we're catching up and stuff. And I said to him, I was like, "So what are you?" I was like, "What are you?" He's like, "What are you up to?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm doing stand up, and I got this podcast, blah blah blah." And he's like, "Oh, cool." And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "What about you? What are you up to?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm living in Italy at the moment." And I was like, oh, "Okay, cool." And he goes, "Yeah, so I'm getting disability from Australia, but the deal is I have to be out of the country. So I found a way to do it so that I can be out of the country and still get disability." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And he goes, "Yeah, because you can't live on disability in Australia because it's not enough, because it's too expensive. But you can live on that amount in Italy." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." So I was like, "So what are you doing out there?" And he's like, "Just hanging out." And I was like, "Yeah?" And he goes, "Yeah, I'm enjoying retirement." And I was like, wait, Sid, how old are you? He's like, 32. And I was like, you're retired at 32. And he goes, yep. And I was like, I was like, so wait, you're just getting the disability from Australia and you're living in it in Italy. And he's like, yeah, that money goes a long way. And I was like, well, how much are you getting, like disability wise? And he's like, you get about 1,000, the equivalent of 1,000 euros. And I was like, okay. And I was like, how much is your rent? And he's like, about 300 euros. And I was like, okay, cool. And he goes, yeah, so I have money, for other stuff. And I was like, don't you, are you going to trying to get back into the workforce or whatever? And he was like, nah. And I was like, why not? Because he's really smart. He's really smart.
What did he do before?
He was like an IT programmer-y guy.
Okay.
Very he's got Asperger's.
Yeah.
And he's very you can tell he's very fucking smart, and he's also a nerd tech head.
Yeah.
And I know that he was good at what he does. And he was like, yeah, the thing is, he's like, I am a programmer, and he's like, I'm not a half bad one either, but my people skills are what get in the way, and that I can't hold down a job because of that. And I was like, that's fair enough. And I was like, so you're just not going to try and get another job ever? And he's like, no. And I was like, do you not feel like, you feel like you should do whatever? And he's like, no, I don't think so. I think I've tried, and I'm just doing what I'm doing now. And I was like, so how do you spend your days? And he was like, I'm just reading and playing video games and hanging out. And I was like, don't you get depressed? And you know what he said? He said, no, I actually don't. And I said, but why not? And he goes, Ollie, I've spent half of my life homeless. I'm 32 now. I've spent the last 15 years on and off homeless, about half my life. So when you've been homeless for that long and you have a roof over your head, you have food in your fridge, you have clothes on your back, you're like, this is all right. Because it's really been a lot worse, and it's way better than how I was living before. And I was like, fair enough.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. And I was like, are you happy? And he goes, yeah, I'm happy. And I was like, well, fair enough.
See, okay.
And that was it. And then I was like, cool. And then we caught up, and then we chatted a bit, and then I said, all right, I'll speak to you soon. But it was just this really interesting moment of I spoke to George about it, and I was like, half of me was like, come on, man, you can't I get living off the state when, you need a bit of help and whatever, but you should be still aiming, I guess, to get out of it. And he was like, nah, but I've tried that and it doesn't work and I'm homeless. And
I've got a few questions and points here.
Yeah.
So first of all, I fucking hate those people, right? And not because they're fucking living off the state or whatever. That's whatever. That's a separate topic.
I think I know what you're going to say.
You
hate them because they're happy?
I wish... No, because I actually have a friend like this, and he works now because he's got a kid and stuff. But he was like that for years. He's just one of those guys where it's like, if I can go and have a beer on Friday and I can fucking sit and play a bit of FIFA or whatever, I don't give a fuck. And it's like I've tried that. I've lived like that, and I bought rope. No, and it's like you said that. How do you not get depressed? Because I think it's just how you're wired, right? Me and you are quite similar in that way. I think. That sounds great.
Yeah.
Just not having to go to work every day and just chilling and...
Oh, I would be so depressed.
But it sounds perfect.
Yeah. It sounds like the idyllic lifestyle.
It sounds
You're in
like
Italy.
Retirement.
And you have enough for food, and you can just walk the streets of Italy and read. And,
Italy, beautiful. The food, amazing. The culture's so relaxed.
Yeah.
And it sounds fucking perfect.
Yeah.
But give me 2 weeks doing that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to kill 7 people and then kill myself. And that's what I'm going to do, because I can't do that, because you know about the voices, right?
Yeah.
You know about them. They're
Do you want
loud.
to tell the people about the voices?
The voices, they say bad things. They say, no, but I genuinely am envious of those people. I am, because I wish I had that. I wish, because I'd
Sorry, you
love
got a
to.
hair on the mic and it's really annoying me. There we go. Cool.
There's a few, mate. I would love to live like that. That would be my dream. But
and that's the thing. He's happy. He's so content. And it's this thing almost of because I can't, like you said, because I also can't be content with that. That I'm like,
yeah, it's like you.
But I'm the wrong one for projecting onto him, because I'm like, he's happy.
Yeah.
He's cracked it.
Yeah. You're trying to reason with him. You're like, but do you not feel a deep sense of shame?
Yeah.
And do you not feel like you're pathetic? He's like, nah, mate, I feel great. You're like,
exactly. Yeah.
People like that, I am very envious of them, but it's just not the way we're wired, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I honestly, because when I wake up sometimes for work and it's fucking raining and shit, and I'm just like, I just want to sit at home, just smoke weed and just fucking. I don't even smoke weed anymore, but that's what I want. That's what I'd love to be able to just sit at home, smoke weed, and play games.
Yeah.
And just feel no shame, no way about it. Just feel good.
Yeah, it hits me too deep. I
hits me
I feel
so
too
deep.
much like a piece of shit when I do that.
Oh
and
my God.
Yeah, I get so depressed.
So depressed. But that's the thing. It's like me and you. We want glory, and we want
it's
fucking.
so pathetic.
And it's like, just shut up.
Yeah.
Just fucking sit at home and fucking ponce off the government. That's what I want my brain to be like, but it's not.
Yeah.
I've got this thing of like, triumph, and you make something of your life, and it's like, who gives a fuck? Do you know what I mean? Me and you are not going to leave a mark on the world where it's like in 100 years they're going to be like, oh, do you know about Ollie Rayhart? Yeah. It's not going to happen.
Did you guys ever, there's like an old tome, like a book, and when they blow the dust off it, the Nameless podcast.
Yeah.
What is it? It's these two guys that call each other gay and go,
but
it's
this
like
is
a fist dildo and stuff.
No, because this is gonna fuck with me tonight. I'm not gonna be able to sleep now, because I genuinely I do in my heart. I want that triumph. I want to leave a mark on the world.
Yeah,
but are we gonna
insecure.
leave a mark?
The thing is, dude, I don't know.
We might leave a mark in comedy.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I don't know if we're gonna leave a mark or not. But I think if I have to tell myself I'm gonna leave a mark. Because if I don't, then I'm like, what am I doing?
If I don't, I'm gonna leave some marks. All right, they're gonna be on my wrist.
There's gonna be some blood patterns on the wall. So yeah, wow, really, way to drink wine, right? Really just went down the hand, down the trousers, stained the trousers, on the floor.
You made me very angry about this whole situation now, okay? Because now I feel very depressed.
Maybe we should start you off on Fruit Shoot and work your way up.
I'd probably spill that, honestly.
You probably would, and it would stain the same way.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so fuck Sid anyway. I mean, I'm happy. I'm not happy for him. I'm lying. Why did I just lie to you? I'm not happy for him.
Yeah, you're not happy for
I'm
him.
angry at him.
Yeah.
Man, Jesus. Okay, but here's my other question. Why does he still get money from Australia if he doesn't live there? That doesn't make sense.
He said he's figured out some sort of like...
Are we grassing him up right now? Is he gonna
No, because no one knows who he is. His name's Sid.
Yeah.
But that is not his name.
Okay.
So no one knows who he is. But I think he said he's not allowed to go back. That's the condition. If he goes back to Australia, he loses the disability.
Okay.
So he has to stay away.
So he's just gonna spend the next 10 years basically traveling through Europe, probably living a dream.
Probably.
And I'm waking up every day like a cunt, going to work to barely afford.
Yeah. That is the reality of life. Dude, I'll never forget when I was a kid, my friend, he had this German or Austrian friend who was like a family friend of his family or whatever. And this kid came to visit every now and then. And he was like a year older than us. And, oh no, it wasn't him. It was this other guy. Okay. Basically, my friend knew this guy who was an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And this guy had started like some app company, like a small app, but it was like doing really well. And he was maybe a couple of years older than us. And we must have been like 22, 23. And I'll never forget, my friend said to me, he said, I was hanging with this guy was called Daniel. Mm-hmm. And he said, yeah, dude, I was hanging out with Daniel once. And basically Daniel had this app. I'm not going to like disclaim what it was, but basically he had an app that he made. Mm. And every time a purchase was made, it would be like a £5 purchase.
Okay.
And his phone would get a notification from like PayPal or Stripe or whatever that would be like £5.
Yeah.
Know? And he was like, dude, when you're hanging out with him, it's really difficult not to feel jealous or annoyed, because he's like, you'll literally be hanging out with him and you'll just be talking. And then over the space of like the coffee you've just had with him, he's made 70 quid because his phone would just go ding like that. £5 just coming in every like 5 minutes. And I met up with him once because I wanted to talk business with him. And I remember we were sitting at the pub and his phone, I was like, is it true? And his phone was just ding, oh, ding. And I'm like, I just spent £6 on a pint, and over this drinks for like an hour or two, he has made like 150 quid from nothing. So I was like, that was crazy. But anyway, he said to me once, he goes, I'll never forget. I was talking to Daniel once, and he said, I said to him, like, oh, it's kind of hard, it's hard because you're doing this kind of business thing, and I'm going to work, and that's really difficult, because it's harder to motivate yourself when you're just in the rat race going through it and stuff. And he said, I'll never forget. He said, Daniel just paused and he went, some people's lives are just better than others.
And that's when I go to prison, though, right? No, because I couldn't have someone say, were they close?
No, they weren't close. They were just like,
That's worse
Yeah.
then.
But what's funny
I
is
could not have another man say that to me.
yeah, but what's funny is the way that he said it. He didn't say some people are just better than others. He was just basically pointing out the fact that in life, the reality is some people's lives are just better than others.
Yeah.
And it was the way he said it, which is like, it's not an incorrect thing that he said, but there's something about hearing it said that makes you just want to blow your brains out, you know?
I'd attack him. I mean, I couldn't have someone say that to me. That's just being like, that's basically just like, you should kill yourself and I shouldn't. That's how it translates to my head. It's like, you should just go and do it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be here on a beach sipping a cocktail.
Save the resources for the rest of us.
Yeah, do you know what I'm saying?
Because they're getting scarce.
But here's the thing as well. So just on that beep, like the notification thing, I had a thought before. So in my old flat, it was a council flat, and I had like like a electric key. Do you have one of those, or you pay like you have an electric bill?
Bill.
Yeah. Okay. So in council flats, you have the
I
key,
know.
right?
I dated a single mum. I did.
I know, but why? But what? So what? Why is now I feel degraded? I feel like
I dated a single mum.
So I'm just a whore with fucking kids and no father. Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I'm saying when I was younger, I was dating a single mum for a while. And she lived in a council flat and she did the whole key and everything.
But yeah, so she was a broke single mum. Don't say it like I'm just on level with fucking like what the fuck? Okay.
But what's funny is I'm dating a single mum now. So the example doesn't actually compute because obviously, yes, there is a range of single
exactly.
mums. But that was the reflex that I thought of I was like, when you said the key.
So you're saying all single mums are broke?
No.
Well,
that was the reflex.
Yeah.
When you said the key, I thought back to when I dated a single mum when I was younger. I was like, oh yeah, I dated a single mum. And she was living in a council flat.
Nice council flat?
No.
What? There can't be nice council flats.
I didn't say that.
You said. I said nice council flats.
No, there actually can be really nice council flats.
I know one person with a nice council flat.
Yeah, they've got a bin.
Yeah, it's fucking Sid.
And it's in Italy.
Yeah. No, but I had the key, right?
But also, by the way, I'm not shitting on council flats. If I could live in a council flat and have my rent paid, I would rather live in a council flat that was maybe a bit shit than live in a nice flat where I had to pay more money.
Yeah, that's the change I've just recently made. Trust me, it's better every time.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. And my boys live in council flats anyway. And again, the idea of being able to live in that would be like, fucking yeah, it's sick.
Great.
Yeah.
I wish I didn't know what I had.
I
used to moan about my council place, but it's kind of shitty, it's run down. I would fucking suck a dick to get back there right now.
Yeah.
I'd suck 5.
And you have.
I've tried. They didn't go for it. No, but the key, the electric key, right? You're familiar with the thing.
Do you want to explain to people who might not know if they're bored or whatever?
So basically, when you're poor, right, you don't pay an electric bill. You get like a top-up key, right? And you just put it into this thing in the wall. And it basically, you top it up as it goes, right? Yeah. And my one, when it used to run out, it used to make this noise, and it used to go like a really high pitched fucking beep. And I always used to I swear, I used to hear, you're broke, you're fucking broke, you're fucking broke. Because it was just a reminder of like, oh, I got no money.
Yeah.
And I need electric.
Yeah.
What am I going to do?
Yeah, you need some lecky.
Yeah, it's painful.
Yeah, that's tough.
Like that noise, but that's what that in the same vein of if I heard that beeping on that guy's phone, all I hear is you're broke, you're broke. Yeah. It's like a reminder that you ain't shit.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, and I was like, at the time when I met this guy, I was like I said, 22, 23, and I had no idea what I was doing, and I was just working a job, or whatever. And I'm like, he's just because again, so I worked in like a bar for like 5 years, and I was getting like £10 an hour, and it's crazy to sit opposite someone. And their phone, in the first 5 minutes of sitting with them, their phone's gone off twice. And I'm like, oh, he's just made £10.
He just made what I make in an hour.
And I've just spent £6 on a pint. So I've just basically spent 40 minutes of my time on a pint, and he has just made £10. And then that happens like way more, and it ramps up. So
he's just made 2 pints.
Yeah. And also, he's just made, by the end of it, he might have made like a couple £100. And I'm like, you've just made like a week's worth of my labor and money. In like an hour of, and in an hour of not doing anything, of just sitting and having a pint with me. It's crazy.
Passive income.
But
so what? Okay, so here's the thing. Am I wrong for feeling envious of those people?
No,
but I feel like the better part of my brain, right, tells me
you. Why don't you work?
Yeah, exactly. You figure it out and you make it work.
It's the capitalist versus the socialist in your brain.
Yeah, the bad part of my brain says, take what he has. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How much has he got in his wallet? Can I hurt this man somehow? But that's the problem, because it's like, I'm not that guy.
No.
But part of my brain is like, fuck him.
Yeah.
But I'm happy
also,
for
to be
people,
fair,
but I'm not, you know?
Yeah, but also to be fair, that's because you're a loser. You know?
That sting's coming from you, I have to say.
Right? It hurts
really
more, doesn't it?
stings,
But that's the thing. It's like, but I'm a loser too. That's why
we get on.
That's why we get on so
Yeah.
well. 2 peas in a pod.
Yeah.
But this pea's brown a little bit. This pea's got some roots in the ground.
Yeah,
right?
this pea's rotten. This pea is fucking deteriorating.
But yeah, so I think it's just a natural thing that you feel like that, you know.
But I don't know, man. It's tough because I am happy for people, but I also am bitter.
If you were gonna do crime, right? If you were gonna full on just be like
Rape.
right,
What? Oh, what's the red wine? Bleep.
And I'm associated with you. I've worked so hard for my career.
I'm dragging you down.
Away.
I'm dragging you down.
Dude, it
No.
will suck if I work so hard to like get a great career in comedy, and then you say something that ruins my life.
Oh no! If you get really successful and I don't, I won't say something. I'll go and do something bad to someone, and I'll just drag you down.
Yeah, that sounds like on brand.
Yeah.
But if you were going to do a crime, right? Not a fun crime like the one you said. Not one for pleasure.
Yeah.
If you were broke, right, and you had to.
We've already done this bit.
Okay, if you were broke and even more desperate than you are now,
Yeah.
right, and you had to fucking get some bread in, okay, what would you do?
Well, I thought about this a lot. Okay, so there's two things
bet
that I
you
would
have.
do. Yeah,
You've been pretty close to the wire, right?
I've been very close. Yeah. Some say I've been there, done that. But no, what I would do, honestly, is I thought about this a lot. I'd steal a watch off someone.
Okay.
Because I feel like I'm not a violent like criminal, right?
Yeah.
But if let's say tomorrow I get a letter through the door, you need 100 grand stat or you're fucked. I'd take I'd go to Knightsbridge or some shit. I'd wait for some fucker to leave with a Patek Philippe or some shit.
Yeah.
And I'd just wait for him to walk around a corner in a dark alley, and I would just hit him round the back of the head with something blunt, and I'd just take it off his
But the
wrist.
thing is, so first of all, in this scenario, I'm not saying you need 100 grand tomorrow.
What do I need?
I'm saying you need to just stay alive. You, for whatever reason, you can't get a job.
Well, I lose my job or something.
You lose your job and you can't get a job and you need some money, right? But then also you might want to scale up and make a career out of it. What would you do? Because the thing is, also just to clarify, I think the watch thing is like, I've also thought about this a lot too.
Yeah.
Like, what would I do if push came to shove? What crimes would I commit?
Yeah.
You know? And I think I don't have it in me, I don't think, to do something to another human being that isn't their fault, they don't deserve, and then fucking just take that from them, you know? Obviously, you're less principled.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
exactly.
No, I've never done that. I would never do that. But I would thought you
Never
were
say
talking
never,
like, yeah, well, let's see how successful you get, bud. You know, because I'm coming.
It'd be funny. You see me start to do well, and then one day I see you, and you're still like you're living on the street, and you've got a Patek on your wrist. Like, I'm not doing too bad, mate. I don't know if you saw. So I'm up now.
Things are up. No,
Didn't you say you were sleeping outside Tesco's? Yeah, it's all that's a temporary accommodation, mate. But as you can see from the watch, I'm actually doing all right. Worry about your own stuff, son. Worry about your own stuff.
Here's the problem with the watch thing, though. A lot of people wear replicas. So if I club someone round the head, because I will feel bad about it. I'm not that guy, so I will have sleepless nights over doing that to someone. And then you end up finding out that it's not even a real watch, and you do it for no reason. That would be painful.
Yeah.
That would be hard to live with. But no, if you're saying I need to like make a career out of it, I'm selling drugs, bro, all day.
See, I don't know.
I'm selling drugs.
I
man.
feel like selling drugs for me would be, I don't think I've got the viciousness needed. Because then you get into like patches and territory and rivalry and all that kind of stuff. I've seen Top Boy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know,
And
but
so
you're basing this off
I don't
shows,
want the
right?
ZT crew coming after me.
Yeah, but there's ways to do it without stepping on toes. You don't need to be like in territories and shit.
I think I'd probably be more inclined to, okay,
You could take over the comedy territory. There's a lot of people in comedy that do drugs.
that's true. You could do
You
that.
could be the comedy guy.
Yeah.
Hey, haha.
I have
whoa.
thought a lot about if I had an idea. I had an idea for a TV show years ago about like a group of guys who become drug dealers, but they're like, okay, we're going to do it differently, right? So they don't flex, they don't wear like trackies and shit and parade themselves. They're very much like, they wear suits, they drive Priuses, they blend in, and they basically like work their way up. And then I had a whole idea for a show like about that. But I think that's my point. I think like if you were gonna, I feel like if I was gonna sell drugs, I would be like, okay, well, first of all, what do the police typically look at when they're looking at someone who's dealing drugs? They're looking at like a flash car. They're looking at
black.
Well, that's the I just go tick.
Swerve that one.
Dodge that bullet. No, but so I would go. Other than that, obviously, racial profiling aside. After that, they go, okay, well, like that guy, you know, he's in a flash car, he's wearing a trackie, or he's maybe whatever it is.
Electric scooter, big watch. Hanging around the block.
Gucci
whatever.
belt, whatever. So I would go, okay, well, I know that like they're probably less like, what the fuck do I know? I don't know anything about drug dealing, but I'm saying like I would assume that like, okay, if you like wore a fucking half decent suit and you drove a Prius and you put glasses on and you had a tie, you're much less likely to be stopped and searched or stopped in your car.
Oh, of course.
And also, you're closer to this world than I am. And so, like, I've got friends who shot, and I've had a lot of friends who shot, but I've never done it. But I feel like you probably have a more in-depth understanding of how it works. But I'm curious, why do you think that people who shot aren't more like
covert?
Yeah, like whenever, even when I used to pick up, like back when I used to smoke weed or when I used to fucking fuck around and do drugs or whatever, it's like I would always, you know, you get picked up by some guy in a big SUV and he's wearing a puffer jacket and a Gucci hat or whatever, and I'm like, I just feel like I looked at that and I was like, I don't know how you're not getting arrested because that seems so obvious.
I've had the exact same thought as that. So many people that I know that do this, when I see them, I'm like, if I was a police officer, I would have pulled you over years ago. As soon as I see you, I go, yeah, that's the guy. I think, so there's a couple of things. I think obviously if you're a drug dealer, most of the guys, allegedly the people I know that would do something like that. They, obviously it's a lot of like, it's a lot of like, I mean, this is kind of cringy to say, but like dirty money. So it's not like you're going to go and buy a house. So you're left with these bundles of money. So like, it's almost like ingrained in the culture to be like, well, I'll go and buy a watch for 60 grand. I'll go and you can buy cars with some dirty money. Like there's ways to get around all of that thing. You go like part exchange, whatever. So you can do all of that. So it's like, you kind of are left with this thing where it's like, well, I've got all this money. You know, a lot of them are living in council housing, right?
But also that's the other thing. I'm like, can't you wash it? I mean, it's probably naive, but I'm saying, because again, you do see guys where, like you said, a lot of them are living in council houses, but then they're driving like a fucking Bentley and they're wearing.
Which again, you should say that people should be able to spot that. I don't know how they don't.
Yeah, 100%. But again, my point is, I'm like, okay, well, if I grew up in a council flat and I had no money and I'm just at home with my Marge and we've got no bread, and then I start making money from fucking selling drugs, my first thought would be like, okay, we'll stack up until I can get to a point where I can get me and my mum out of the fucking hood.
Yeah, and that is the dream for a lot of people, I would imagine. But I think a couple of things. First of all, it's kind of like a culture thing. Like there is, because I know a couple of people that are like in that world, and they're not really that kind of guy. They're very much like me, just like a normal guy. But they've got themselves into that world and they've fallen into that world like really, like they're really into it now. And they change, they become that person because you have to, right? Because like you said, like there is a level of danger with it, and there's a level of like, you know, even the people you're dealing with, like you can't go in there. And I remember I was gonna try a bit before. I told you, like, you can't drive up to a drug deal and be playing Madonna like a prayer. Do you know what I mean? Like there is a level of like, you kind of have to adopt the role. So I think that's part of it in terms of like buying the flashy stuff and all of that. And I think the other part of it is obviously just like, I think it's just having the bundles of money and not knowing what to do with it. And like you said, you can wash it, but I think a lot of these people probably don't have the knowledge to do that. Right. But I will say that is happening. A lot of that's happening, like especially with crypto. And I know a lot of people that get into that kind of shit.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah. So there are ways to do it, but I just think it's a lot of the culture, man. I think people just do it, and you know, you're doing it, and then the guy you're buying the stuff off, or the guy that you're doing it with, he goes and buys a 50 grand watch. You go, fuck, I've got 300 grand in my house, I might as well go and do that as well. Boom.
300, that's so much money. It's crazy to me because
I don't even know if we put this in, but I know people.
No, you're not betting anyone out.
But I know people that have you wouldn't believe.
Really?
You would not.
But this is the thing that's crazy because I've always found this interesting because you hear stories about how like when you're just like a runner or something, you're actually working like crazy hours and you're actually not making that much money relatively to what's happening.
Depends who you're doing it for though, man. Like,
again, I have no understanding of this shit.
Yeah.
Any sort of detail.
It depends who you're doing it for. If you're doing it for some guy who's barely doing any numbers himself, then you're not going to make any money. But I know runners that make good money.
What's
Like,
good money?
£300 a day, £400 a day.
Really?
Yeah.
And what does that involve? Like, what time do you start? What time do you finish?
It depends what you're doing. If you're doing like cocaine, then you're going all night because that's where the phone's ringing.
Sure, yeah.
But if you do, I again, allegedly, this is double incriminating. But
Yeah.
I know people that have been like have done running for like weed things, and they'll work from 12 midday to 1 a.m. and they'll make £500 a day, £600 a day, and they'll do that 7 days a week.
Wow.
Tax free, obviously.
Yeah.
I allegedly I may have done a day of running myself one time, and I made £350 or something.
Wow.
Just driving around
Is
on a
that
Saturday.
for you profit?
I
allegedly?
allegedly took £300. Yeah.
In this sketch that we're talking
In this
about.
sketch, in this crazy world.
So
where
in
it's-
this sketch.
in this show that you wanted to write.
in this show. So hypothetically, if we were doing this show,
Hypothetically.
how are you making that 350 quid? Can you break that down? I sound like such a fucking fed.
I know, innit? This is a setup, bro. This is a
I'm like,
setup.
so allegedly, who would you get it off? Allegedly, and allegedly, what's their contact information, their address?
Fuck it. I'm gonna get stabbed for this.
Okay, so hypothetically, right, in this sketch.
This is okay. Hypothetically, I was a kid at this time as well. Hypothetically, young,
Okay, how young are we talking?
20,
20. Okay, not that young though, right?
8 years ago.
Okay, so
Hypothetically.
hypothetically, and allegedly, in this sketch, let's write a sketch together.
This is a sketch.
Okay, allegedly,
Top
in this
Boy
sketch,
Bottom Boy season 1.
Bottom Boy season 1, right? So in Bottom Boy, the lead character is called Ashley. Ashley's 20.
Oh, let's
and
change
he's-
the name,
and he's-
right? Change the name, right? No,
Okay, obviously you've never sold drugs ever in your life.
never.
But allegedly, if you were, right, when you said you were a runner, right, you made 350 quid in a day, right?
How much would that character make? Is what you're asking me.
So
What's
that
the
350
breakdown?
quid, that was profit. That would allegedly be profit for, let's call it Tom, right? Let's say
Yeah.
the character's called Tom. So there's a character called Tom and he's running for a day
Yeah.
and he's selling weed, right?
Yeah.
He makes 350 quid. Is that profit for him?
Yeah. So
Okay.
So the way. Okay. So let me break it
Yeah,
down.
break it down for me. How does it work? It's so exciting.
Okay, this is mental.
Getting
that
a
we
real
got this.
thrill from this.
This is mental. Okay,
Yeah.
so allegedly, hypothetically, for season 1 of Bottom Boy.
I can't wait to learn about the plug.
So yeah, so Tom meets the plug. I sound like the gayest guy ever. as well. People,
the great thing, no one's gonna believe that you-
I'm so glad that we don't have a fan base, or
Yeah.
because people would just be, or even just. I hope this gets no click, because if people see this, they'll be like, "This guy is wet. He never did this. He's a pussy." I know, I'm a pussy. Okay,
That's great. That's what you want them to think.
Exactly.
You want them to think you're a fucking wet
Hey.
loser with nothing going
This
on.
is my
who should-
this is my Prius. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? This is my Prius.
You're really embodying the role. You're really a method actor.
Where are we going, brother?
Okay, so allegedly,
Allegedly.
how does one even find? Okay, so Tom
Okay.
wakes up one day and he goes, "You know what? I want to make some ched, right?
Okay,
I
well,
want to make
you-
some serious coin.
Okay, well,
Skrilla me up.
First of all,
right?
you say that, and no
You're out
one wants
the
to
game.
work with you, right? Yeah, he's started.
Okay.
Hey, man, I'd love to make some ched today, right, bro? You're a fed. You're a fed. Get off my phone. Okay.
No, I didn't say fed, you muppet. I said ched.
I want to really fancy making some Skrillerinos today, bud. You know.
Come on, Nine Zeno. Give me the ched. Where's it hiding? This mouse wants some coin. This mouse is hungry, and he's hungry for one thing, and it's ched.
God.
Okay, so Tom wakes up one day and he goes, "I want to get me some green."
Okay,
Money,
just
that is.
please stop though, because you're upsetting me. Bro. This is I fucking hate this. Okay, so Tom wakes up and he says, "You know what, bro? I want to make some dough today.
Hell yeah.
I want to make some scratch.
I want some fucking
I
scratch.
want to make some fucking readies. You know what I mean?
Ah, you're the readies.
Die of it.
Readies means
Is it?
£50 notes, by the way,
Yeah.
because they're red.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
street lingo for you. You know that.
Let's
I love Look, pause, don't even move. As he's telling this story, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, he's literally sitting like, he's hunched his shoulders, he's got his arm up like in geezer mode, and he's like, all right, here's what you want to do, right? Here's how you do it.
Because here's the thing, so, right, Tom's woke up and his fucking electric meter's beeping off, do you know what I mean? That's what happens. He's going, you're broke. So he's going, right, let me make a phone call, right. So here's the thing, so let's
Should we call this episode How to Sell Drugs?
yeah.
Should we do a Shopify course?
From a loser.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing, so this is what would happen, right? So if you're, with this, you just want to hear about the runner side of things, yeah?
Sure, I mean, we can expand if we need to. But
Okay.
I'm curious, just like a guy who's like, I want to make some money, I want to start selling some
But
stuff.
you'd have to know someone to be a runner, though, right?
I know you.
Okay, all right, fine, okay.
So
Well,
hypothetically,
I'm not a plug, though. I can't
Okay,
say.
well, yeah, but I don't know, but you must know a plug.
Okay,
That's what
I mean,
I'm saying.
maybe,
So Tom
yeah.
wakes up and he wants to
Allegedly. Okay, so
make some
Tom
scratch.
wakes up, he wants to make some fucking dough, right?
Yeah.
So if he can acquire the details of a plug and the plug trusts him to run for him for the day.
But what is a plug? That's what I'm saying. You have to explain this stuff.
Jesus Christ, we're getting deep here.
Is a plug like some guy who lives out of London and you just goes, right, I've got an ounce, you can come pick it up and I want this much for it?
Not necessarily. It depends. There's the plugs come in many a color and form and shape. They come in many. You've plugged things in the wall, right?
I have.
Some black, some white, some yellow, right? You know, there's just a brown ones, whatever. 3-prong, 2-prong, I don't know, they're all over.
Okay.
No, okay. So
Tom's like, I want to make some dough. So
Okay.
He says to his mate, John, he goes, hey, you've been selling some green. How can I get in on that?
Okay, so essentially a plug, we're talking weed.
Yeah, sure, why not?
So a plug is someone who is obviously, I mean, if it's UK grown, they would probably have their own grow house, right? They'd probably grow it themselves. So they would grow the weed, they'd fucking cut the weed up, trim it, package it, and it would be sold in boxes typically.
To a plug.
To a plug, or the plug could sell it directly to the smaller plugs, because there's many level of plugs.
So is the grow guy a plug?
He's the plug. He's the top plug.
He's the top
But again,
plug.
there's many a level of plug.
Okay,
There
right.
could be a plug who has one small grow in a room like this.
Okay.
And he's a plug.
So if
essentially.
you started growing weed in this room, you would be a plug.
Yeah, because a plug is basically just means someone. It just basically
Who
means
has the stuff.
someone who's who's got enough to distribute it to a wide
Got you.
kind of group, I guess. Obviously, most people would only consider a plug someone who's like really high level, but a plug is anyone. I could be your plug, right? If you want to buy a drawer and I had weed, allegedly, for example.
But doesn't that just make you a dealer because you're just selling me?
Yeah, but
individually?
you know the little fucking posh white kids. They're like, he's the plug, man.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
go
of
call it
course.
a plug.
Yeah,
A plug is
fair,
essentially just means the person you get it from.
Okay.
He's the person who plugs you in. He
Okay.
gives you the power, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the person would grow it. Obviously, if we're talking like the top people in the country, they probably have fucking factories and shit. So they're not selling. They've got thousands of boxes going out at once, and a box is 1,000 grams, I believe, right? So that would be sold to, and it's like a hierarchy. It gets distributed down. So it would be from one person to the next person to the next person. So there's a lot of middlemen. So you'd get a person who's got the factories, right? And he would then sell it to the next guy, who would then sell the boxes onto the next plug, who would sell those boxes in ounces or 9 bars, which is 9 ounces, right? So then that would be sold to your smaller level plug, who would be the guy that you get your drawers from.
Oh, okay.
So it's a real chain of
So like a street
power.
level dealer would he's buying like a 9 bar for example.
Maybe he's buying a box if he's like a really high level street dealer, because obviously if the smaller you break it down, the more money you make, right?
Yeah.
But obviously the lower down you are in the chain, the more it costs to buy, because people are putting their extras on it and they're breaking it down, right? So if the guy who's at the top, he's gonna sell fucking 20 boxes to someone, he's gonna give
And
him
a
a good
box is
price.
what, an ounce?
1,000 grams. So I don't even know how much. It's like fuck it.
How many grams in an ounce?
It's 28 grams in an ounce.
Hey Siri. Oh, okay. 28 grams in an ounce.
20 allegedly.
Hey Siri. How many ounces is 1,000 grams?
1,000 grams is 35.27 ounces.
Okay.
That sounds about right.
So
yeah.
like 35 ounces in a box. And how much? What's the value on that?
Oh, it depends, man. I don't know. You're incriminating me here. I don't know.
I'm saying hypothetically.
No, hypothetically, I don't know. I don't know.
This is a sketch. We
But
just did a sketch.
just as a
But just speak into
disclaimer,
the mic
I
then,
actually, as a disclaimer, this is all very out of my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
I'm not someone who does this, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
You just
I'm
read about it.
I just know. I know people that know people that know people that know people.
You know people that have read about it.
I know a black guy, you know. I know this. I've said that twice now. That
Yeah,
shouldn't be in there. I'm sorry. The red wine's really getting to me.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you asking? The price of an ounce?
No, as in like, so a guy has a box, it's 35 ounces.
Yeah.
He sells that to the next lower level plug.
Yeah.
How much will he sell 35 ounces for example, that box?
I honestly don't even know. I mean, if it depends.
As in, are we talking like 100 grand, 10 grand?
Oh,
like,
no. So it all depends on the quality of the stuff, right? Because some stuff is like higher
Okay, just say some
grade or
standard
whatever.
average quality
Okay, I
shit.
mean, I don't know, but, you know, maybe 3-4 grand. I don't know.
35 ounces?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
So wait, let me make sure this is right because I need to go into my no. I'm joking. I'm going to my calculator.
I'm the charging
I'm going to my
people.
calculator. 35. Let's say 4. So what did I say? 4,000 divided by 35. So yeah, we work out to about 100 to 115 pound an ounce.
Okay.
That person would then go and sell. So let's say 115.
How many scores in an ounce?
Score? I don't even know. An eighth is 3.5 grams,
Yeah.
and there's 8 in there. I don't know about scores. Scores is like old school.
Yeah.
But so what did I say? 115.
But
Right?
when I was smoking weed, an eighth was a score. That's how.
Yeah, I know, but
synonymous.
that's just what they called it. An eighth is 1/8 of an ounce, which is
Right.
3.5 grams.
Right.
So a score
it's 8
used to be
ounces.
like 1.8 grams or something.
Right.
But
okay.
but nowadays people sell it in eighths, which is 3.5.
Yeah,
and
I
there's
would get
8.
3.5.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So there's 8 of those in a drawer, and you'd
Okay.
sell them for 40 quid. So you probably make. I mean, what's 40 times 8?
40 quid for a 3.5.
Yeah, maybe 30 if
Because
it's
it used to be
if it's
20.
yeah. Well, if it's like
Inflation's
if
really
it's
hit
if it's
the-
Cali or like higher grade stuff, it would be 40. But let's say 30 times 8. What is that? Like 2.
Well, 10 times 8 is
320?
320.
Yeah, 320.
No, 240.
240. Okay, yeah, sorry. So 40 times 8 is 320, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So let's say you buy it for, so a 9 bar, 115 times that. So he's getting it for 1035. Let's say he sells them at,
1,035.
yeah, let's say he sells it at 150 per ounce. So he'd make, 300, 400 pound per 9 bar if he's doing that 10 times or whatever.
Per 9 ounces, he's making 400 quid.
He's probably making more than that, to be honest. Well, no,
I mean, even if it's like 600 quid, though, that 600 quid for 9 ounces of weed, that feels like not much money.
yeah, but
Like, you've grown 9 out, you've risked growing 9 ounces.
yeah, but he's not growing it. He's buying it from the guy. The guy who's buying it is getting it. The guy who's growing it is getting it way cheaper. I'm talking about this is the middle guy. This is the guy who's buying it off him.
The guy who's buying it off the factory.
Yeah, this is the guy who would buy it off the guy on top. But that's the way it works. So basically, the lower down in the chain it gets, the more expensive it gets. And the rule of thumb is the more you buy, the cheaper it is, right? So the people I know,
Wholesale.
the allegedly people who I know or who Tom knows that do this,
Yeah.
they don't really buy boxes. They would buy Cali pounds, which is shipped over from California.
Wow.
That's where Tom's wheelhouse is. That's what he would. That's the people he knows what they do.
Okay.
So a pound is 16 ounces, I believe.
Okay.
28 times 16, 448. Yeah. So a pound is 16 ounces, and I mean typically you would buy that for if it's really
Allegedly,
good.
if Tom would
Allegedly,
buy it
if Tom would buy it, you'd buy it for 2,200 pound divided by 16. So you're getting an ounce at 137.
Okay.
So if you're doing and again, the people I know are more at this level. So this is where
People that Tom knows.
the people that Tom knows. This is more where I would have a little bit of Tom would have a little bit of inside knowledge, right?
Okay.
From stories that he's heard. And stuff.
Yeah.
So if he's getting them at 137 an ounce,
Yeah. And Tom is the low level shotter.
Tom is the low level shot.
So
yeah.
Tom's
so
buying
he's
an
buying
ounce.
a pound.
He's buying a pound, which
Yeah.
is what is it, 28?
2,300 pound.
23
Yeah.
ounces,
No, sorry. It's 16 ounces.
16 ounces,
But he's
okay.
paying like 2,200, 2,200.
For 16 ounces.
Yeah,
Okay.
something like that. So let's say he's paying 137 pound per ounce, and then
is like fucking-
what did we say he made? 320 if he sells them at £40 each.
Yeah.
So 320 times 16, so he makes £5,000. So and then minus 23, so he makes £2,800 for probably about. I mean, if he's a really
Off
busy
how many
guy,
ounces?
16.
16.
Yeah.
To move 16 ounces, he'll
Yeah.
make 2,800.
And I mean, if you're a really high level guy, you could do that in a week, easy.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, the people Tom knows. Some people Tom knows could do that in a week. Some people that Tom knows could do that in a month. But
Right.
either way, even in a month, you could make £2,800.
Okay, got you. Wow.
But I think we might have to cut half of that because that was very incriminating to Tom. And I
don't think so.
I'm fond for Tom.
It is literally, it's alleged for a sketch about Tom. And I can't be bothered to cut that because I don't want to have to go in and
was it
do
even
all
interesting? I feel like I was mumbling through half of that.
No, but I think people were interested in that. I think people that aren't in that world are genuinely interested in how it works.
Yeah. But
because you do hear about people where it's like, you hear about the guy who's like shotting crack on the corner and he's like a runner and he's like a young buck and they're giving him some work and you hear him working like 14, 15-hour shifts and sleeping in the bando and stuff and then making like fucking 100 quid a day or something.
But so just to that. So let's say what I was just saying there. Let's say if you're a guy, if Tom's level, you're buying a large amount, right? You're at Tom's level, but you're at the top of Tom's level,
Okay.
which is probably where I would have heard the most stories from, right?
Okay.
Let's say you're making. I mean, what would that even be? So he made 2,800 a month.
If you move 16 ounces in a month.
Yeah, but I said it was 2,300, right?
Yeah.
And then I said it was 40 times. It was 16 times 320. So it's $5,000. So let's say you're making.
But also
320
part of that
divided by
2,820 doesn't, hang on though. So that $5,000, right? So it cost him, let's say 2,300. So he makes 2,800 profit. But then he has to buy the next one.
Yeah, but the idea is that once you've done it 2 or 3 times, you've always got your
enough for the re-up.
Yeah, you've always got that behind you. So really what you want to do is the first time or 2 you do it, the profit all goes into the re-up. And then from then on, you've always got your re-up behind you.
Right, okay.
However, having said that, to be honest, most people don't pay for the weed. They tick it.
Right.
You'd never really pay. Like you would just tick it and then...
Once you've sold it,
Because if you pay for it and then something happens, you're fucked. So you're putting the onus all on you. Whereas most people will put the onus on a plug and tick it if they have.
But isn't that where it comes to where it's like if you don't move it, then you owe the plug.
But again, that would only be people
That's when the knives come out.
that would only be people that have a reliable system where they know it's just ticking.
Okay.
If you've got a line where you know the money's coming in easy, that's never a concern. The concern is, I guess, if fucking. You get nicked or something, or you get raided or whatever, and it gets taken. But
and then what happens? So let's say.
Well, it depends how in you are with a plug, though.
Tom, he buys a fat stack from the plug, right?
Honestly, bro, you're so gay. I swear, this is so funny.
No, I am hamming it up.
I know you.
But okay, because also don't forget, bro. I grew up in Grove.
I know.
A bunch of my boys have shot. Like,
I know.
But it is quite funny to do. So basically, my point is, let's say Tom goes to plug and he buys like. I don't know, can you buy like 4 or 5 9 bars at a time?
Well, let's just say he buys £2.
Okay, how much would that be?
Tom's done that.
Okay.
Allegedly.
So allegedly, if Tom's bought £2, that's what, like 10 grand's worth? Or £5 worth of
About
spending?
£5 worth.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then he buys it, he has £2. He's
going to make 10 bags.
He owes the plug, a bag is 1,000 for anyone listening.
Yeah, sorry.
He owes the plug now £5,000.
Yeah.
Right? Before Tom can start shotting, he gets raided. And he goes to jail for how long? 2 years? But out in 1?
Oh, no. What? If he's first time offender?
Yeah.
I don't think you see jail.
No.
Don't even think you see jail.
Really?
Don't even think he would go to prison.
People should be selling drugs more.
I know, but obviously if you're talking cocaine and that, like Tom knows people that sell cocaine as well, and those people are going straight to jail.
Tom's a fucking bad man.
Yeah, no, he's a pussy. But those people are going straight to jail. Weed is a lot more lenient. I mean, I know if you get caught with like bundles, like fucking,
okay, fine.
£5 or something. Maybe.
Okay, fine. But hypothetically, right? Let's say
first time offender, you get caught with £2.
Let's say Tom's been a naughty boy. He's not a first time offender, right? And he buys £2 from the plug, and he owes the plug $5,000. And then he has £2 worth of weed. And before he can start shotting it, he gets nicked. And they're like, Tom, we know you're a naughty boy. We're going to put you in prison for 2 years.
Yeah.
For dealing, right? But good behavior out in 1, right? So he's now going to be in pen for a year.
Yeah.
Right? What happens with the plug?
Yeah, but so here's the thing. Again, I mean...
When do the baseball bats come out? But
here's the thing. So if Tom is picking up £2... I would have to assume that he's been doing it for a while because you don't start on £2, right? You start on an ounce or something.
What if he's ambitious?
Nah, but it's because you wouldn't get the grace from the plug to do
that's
that.
32 ounces, right?
Yeah, but you wouldn't get the grace to do that.
Right.
And again, this is all very low level stuff, by the way. I don't
yeah.
want people to think this is like fucking this is nothing. Like,
Okay.
this is a small portion of what goes on. But you wouldn't start at that. I mean, you really wouldn't. You wouldn't be allowed to. And again, most people that get into this is because they know someone, like their cousins, brothers, sisters, uncle, or something does it, right? So technically, generally, there tends to be some kind of connection between Tom and the person or the plug or whatever. So if Tom, let's say if a guy goes to prison and he owes money to a plug or something, I mean, there'd be a lot of like, and again, I actually don't know because I've never even experienced anything like this, but this is a hypothetical based on stories. I would imagine typically there's normally other people involved, right? It wouldn't just be Tom going to meet this random guy that he doesn't know anyone and they don't know they have no mutual friends or whatever. So it would probably be a case where the guy would be like, go to Tom's cousin or something that he knows and goes, look, you need to sort this out. Otherwise, I'm not going to be happy. I don't know.
Well, none of us are happy, man. We're all struggling in this life. We got
I know,
existential
except for
dread.
Sid, innit?
Yeah, Sid's very happy.
Yeah.
But so he goes, I'm not going to be happy. And you guys, fine, man. Would you want to meditate together or what?
Well, then there you go. You know what I mean? I don't know. Things happen, innit?
Things happen.
People go missing. I don't know.
People go missing.
Hey, people, they go missing sometimes. No,
And hey, if you're on hard times, wouldn't be the worst.
Yeah.
Put me out of my misery.
No, because I'll go and tick 7 fucking boxes right now and just throw them in the bin.
Just pour him in the Thames. Do the worst. I guess I gotta go missing. Oh, that's funny. Okay, cool.
I feel like that was very boring, but
it might have been, but it was also interesting.
and it was very scatty. It was very. I mean, there's a lot to
you did not
unpack
tell
there.
that
But,
well.
No, I didn't. But there's a lot of information.
It probably ate up some time, you know.
Is that where we've got to? Is that really how bad
it's
it's
not
got?
where we've got to. Although as you were talking by the end, I was thinking, how are we going to clip any of that?
No, I know we can't clip any of that. That's not.
We have to clip one bit of it, because that was interesting enough. There were a couple of laughs in there.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway, you said you had some fucking personal story. Or some
I don't even
story.
want to tell this, but I'm gonna have to now.
You are
aren't I?
gonna have
Maybe
to,
you
yeah.
might have to cut this as well.
Not gonna do it.
So speaking about Sid being happy with his life and people selling drugs,
Yeah.
I'm a sucker, right?
Yeah.
So I have a job
Yeah,
because I'm a sucker.
you're a working man.
I'm a dickhead.
yeah, you're a wet blanket.
So okay,
Limp dick pussy bitch.
all right. You really
Slave to the system.
you really need to stop talking
Sucking
to
the big man's cock.
Yeah, you really need to stop
every
talking
day.
to Holly before you come in here because the limp dick thing felt too close to the bone, right?
Nice.
Based
on true events.
Yeah. Tom struggles as well.
I hear Tom gets really tired. I hear Tom has a stressful day sometimes, and sometimes Tom just needs to sit down and watch some UFC because he can't help it.
It's all you ever want from me, bitch. Okay.
I think we need to give Tom some more grace. Because sometimes Tom might feel a bit of pressure.
Tom's trying his best, right? He's trying his best. Fucking hell.
Maybe if Tom didn't drink so much red wine, he wouldn't struggle as much.
I'm not Tom, for fuck's sake.
You want to be more like Tom's friend Dave. Dave. Luscious locks, right?
Oh, the gay one. Yeah, he's cool. He's a good guy.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing.
Well, you said it, and it was a derogatory slur.
No, don't do that to me. No, Tom is very inclusive. You know that. Tom is very accepting of all beings.
He is in his arsehole.
Well, what's wrong with that?
That was low hanging fruit. It was low hanging fruit. All right, tell this stupid story. Go on.
Okay, so I'm a sucker, right?
Yeah, you're
so
a
I go
working
to
man.
work, right? And I drive a van for my job, and I'm often driving in, let's say, secluded areas. Is that? I mean, you know,
Getting a bit rapey now. Might want to get to the point.
not secluded areas, but I'm driving in areas where there's not a lot.
There's
of
often secluded areas and women walking home.
Yeah. And I'm an opportunist, right? No,
I'm an entrepreneur.
I see what I want and I
See an opportunity.
Go after
Make
it.
some scratch.
some scratches, mate. Fucking hell. No, okay, so I'm driving
On the inside of the walls of your van. Because he's a dog walker. It's not because he rapes and kills women. Okay, go on. Sorry.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, okay, go on.
So,
You're a white van man.
I'm driving around.
Or you're brown van man.
I'm a brown
beige van man.
I'm a brown man in a van.
You're a brown man in a van, yeah.
In a van. In a van. Oh, that was fucking good. Shake man, that was
you,
good.
thank you.
That was good.
I've got to watch that now.
Jesus Christ, that was funny.
Thank you. I mean, that was just Chabuddy G, but
Oh, that was good.
okay.
He drives
That's one clip. One down and 11 to go.
Okay, so
How many weeks till we throw in the towel?
yeah, there's a few on the floor
Yeah, I know.
to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm driving around.
Sorry, I just thought about like what we're doing here. Like, it's a podcast, so in the context of the podcast, this is totally normal, right? But if you take it out and you just assume this never grows and no one ever sees it, when you zoom out and you look at us, like, we've got towel, like, that's like a kid's beach towel to, like, dampen the sound in the room. We've got, like, 2 lights and it's, like, echoey.
We're on a green screen.
A green
behind us,
screen.
yeah. And we're 2 grown men.
Yeah. Like, our granddads had kids, you know?
I know.
And we're being like, duh.
Yeah, I know. You're 30.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're 30, right?
I am 30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're here.
God, that's bleak. I'm 30 and I'm in a room with you.
All right, well, don't start with me like I'm the worst part, you know? And you throw me in at the end, like as the fucking, you know, the silver lining. I thought you'd be like, I'm in a room with towels on the floor and a green screen, and I'm the worst bit.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell. This guy might be racist.
No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. Your race is only the 5th annoying thing about you.
What's the first 4?
Just the price of your rugs, man. They're just really too expensive, you know? Okay, we're reaching now.
I'm doing my
Go on,
best.
do your story. Come on, I won't interrupt. Go on.
Okay, well, it's gonna
So
have no
you're a man in a van.
It's gonna have no bite to it now, though.
I don't know, dude. I think the liquor was a bad idea.
I know,
It
we're
makes
very
me
messy.
drowsy
Yeah,
and
I know.
messy, yeah.
We're messy.
We're not respecting the audience at all.
No.
All their time.
I was gonna say the audience. The audience.
Yeah.
What, the 2 people? Your
Yeah.
mum and my mum. The 2 people that watch this show.
Hey, but that's a couple of pages for Patreon. Right? Okay, so you drive a van for your job, and you drive.
I'm
in secluded
driving a
areas.
van around, and there's no shops nearby. I mean, secluded's wrong, but there's no shops, right? So there's no amenities, there's no pret a manger, nothing like that, right?
Yeah.
So I'm driving around.
You're in Croydon.
Yeah. Yeah, but I get a fucking puncture on my tire from a knife, you know? No, okay, so I'm driving around and all of a sudden I go, I need to shit right now.
Okay.
Like, I'm gonna shit my pants if something doesn't happen, right? So I pull up on this like quiet residential road and I go, I don't know what I'm gonna do here. I'm in a bad place, right? Because you know you've been there.
I have been there.
It's not a good place to be.
Not a good place. When it feels like I'm losing control over this.
I'm gonna shit now. And okay, here's the thing. I could be sitting in fucking Italy with Sid sipping a fucking pina colada. It don't matter how nice the setting is. If you need to shit, it's stressful.
Yeah.
Life becomes. And here's the other
monofocus.
Yeah, exactly. It simplifies your life because you go, I don't care about the fact that I'm behind on my bills. I need to find a toilet, right?
It's actually quite a peaceful thing.
Do you know what?
Like, it's stressful, but everything else melts away.
It's
You're
the
not
only
worried about,
time
like,
the voices-
relationships and money and like the voices. You're just like, I need to find a way to evacuate my arsehole.
Yeah. The voices only say one thing at that point, and that makes me feel relaxed.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So I'm in the van. I go, I'm gonna shit my pants. So I go, okay, fuck, right. Think on my feet, right? Because I'm a jucker.
Wheeler
I'm a
dealer,
driver. Do you know what I mean? I know. I can figure shit out. So I go, okay, what do I have at my disposal? What do I have?
Oh, can I guess? Can I say?
You can guess.
So you are a dog walker. So you have poo bags.
You're a smart fella, aren't you? So I have poo bags. No, but let's go through it, right? But bear in mind, this is not a choice. I have not chosen this life. Okay,
Yeah.
I literally am
Any of it, right?
No, I don't want it.
Yeah.
I'm nowhere near a toilet.
Would refund if you could.
I'm nowhere near a toilet. I'm nowhere near a fucking park. Yeah. I'd go in a park before I go in a poo bag. Honestly, I'd rather go in a bush
Okay.
because I'm respectful. You know. So I'm like, okay, I'm in the van. I look around. I'm scared. I'm like Jason Bourne. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm like the Equalizer. I'm calculating everything. going around.
You're like
I'm,
using makeshift things. Like there's a bit of string from there. I can take the lining out of my hoodie. It's like,
I've got 4.3 seconds till the shit comes out of me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, the clock is ticking. So I go, right, cool. So I've got poo bags. I've got baby wipes. That's fucking good.
That's great.
I've got that to wipe down my hands after I walk the dogs, right? Because they're muddy and stuff. So I'm like, okay, good. Right, where am I going to do this thing? Because I can't just do it on the street, right?
It's got to be in the van, surely.
But where have I got to go? I can't squat on the driver's seat.
No, but you're in.
I've got to go in the back of the van, right? But the back of the van is full of cages. Now I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. I didn't crawl into a cage because I have respect, right?
Oh, I was really hoping
I didn't crawl into a cage. But here's the other thing.
But the idea of you in the back of a van in
a cage, I know.
squatting into a poo bag is fucking hilarious.
But here's the other thing. The cages, they're not empty, right? They're not empty, are they? No.
There's dogs in there.
Yeah, because otherwise I wouldn't be working, right? I'd just be leisurely driving around.
Yeah.
So there's dogs in there. So I climb in the back of the van. This is fucked. I don't even know why I'm saying this. This is fucked.
Sorry, go on.
This is how much we're struggling for content. I'm willing to divulge this just to keep this fucking podcast going.
Oh my god.
So I get in the back of my van, right? And there's like a little nook cranny, whatever, where the cages like, separate or whatever, right? So I'm crawling in that bitch. Okay. And now I'm squatting in like a really small area. But again, I want to stress, I'm about to shit my pants. So it's not like I'm going, oh, let me find the most comfortable position, ha ha ha. And I'm not taking in the sights. Do you know what I mean? I'm not like petting one of the dogs on the way in. I'm like, this is emergency. I'm going to shit my pants now.
Also, you found a nook and cranny in between the cages, which means, in my mind right now, you're squatting in between the cages and there's just like 5 dogs just like staring at you while you shit into them.
Exactly. That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. That you couldn't. That's exactly. They were looking. So this is where I'm going with it, right? So I get in the back of the van. I'm in.
They just never respect you again.
Hold off, because I'm getting there, right?
Okay, sorry.
So I get in the cranny. I get in the nook, and I pull the old keks down, right? And I squat and I hold out, open a poo bag, and I shit into this thing. I'm talking. I've picked up shit from a dog that is like twice the size of me, and it's like maybe half full. I filled this bitch up. I am telling you, it couldn't have got any more full. Like it was like a pint of Guinness, when the cream was just coming off the top. It was like full to the brim. Jesus. So I've shit in there, baby wiped my ass. So it's actually, considering the fact that I was about to shit my pants 2 minutes prior, it's actually it's a win, right? You'd take that as a win.
100%.
Because it's at the minute when I'm in the driver's seat,
You've got
I'm
a
going,
place to do it. You've got a thing to clean up with.
no one's can see me. I've cleaned my ass.
Yeah.
It's contained. I was like, I'm fucking actually really happy with this situation.
Yeah.
This is actually, believe it or not, I'm shitting in a van with dogs staring at me, and I'm happy about it, right? Believe it or not.
Yeah, because you get off on that.
Yeah. I'm rock hard.
Yeah, exactly.
So I shit in the bag, and it wasn't really that full. I kind of close it up. I go and throw it in a bin outside, right? It's got the shitty tissues in there. The fucking thing. So I throw it in the bin. Shout out whoever.
How did the shit feel, by the way? Was it like,
No. It was like, oh, I hate my. It was. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those ones. It was a nice shit to get it out, but I was so stressed about the fact. Do you know what my first thought was? Yeah. How did I get here? How have I ended up here? This is not normal. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, I almost prayed. Do you know what I mean? I almost turned religious, where I was like, why, this shouldn't be me. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It was like a story from the Bible. It was like when God punishes Abraham, I'm like, why me?
Why have you chosen me?
Like a martyr. So
Ashley, book 3, verse 1. And he did shit in front of dogs.
Yeah. Who the fuck?
And the dogs did watch with horror.
So I do my shit, right?
Literally.
Okay. But here's the thing. Here's the fucking kicker.
Okay.
Here's the main bit. So as I said, when you're in a position, you've been there, right? You've been there. Okay. So when you're in a position, monofocus, you said, right? So you don't take the surroundings.
Yeah.
So as soon as I shit wipe and I've done the deed, that's when you're back in the room, right? You have that moment where you're like, oh, okay, I'm back. 5 dogs. Eye contact. They're staring at me. So I'm like, this is bad. This is not good, you know? So I'm like,
Why not?
Because it's just, okay, here's the thing you don't understand. When you walk dogs, there's almost like there's a battle for alpha position.
Yeah, you have to be the pack
you
leader.
have to be the pack leader, right?
100%,
So,
yeah.
and there's a few of the dogs in the van, they were big dogs, they're dominant dogs. I've got them on lock, they're cool with me. But I don't want to see, I don't want them to see me in vulnerable positions because I don't want them to challenge me.
Yeah.
Because just because I shat in a bag doesn't mean I don't run the show. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I still run this whole shit. Right? So now I'm puffing my chest out. I'm like, what? You think because I shit in a bag, I'm a pussy or something? Do you know what I'm saying? That's where my mind goes. Yeah. So now, but here's the thing. It gets, you fucking like it.
Get that sense.
So here's where it gets bad. So I'm in the back of the van. The door that I came in, there's no handle
Oh my God.
to get out. So I now have to army crawl
Into the driver's seat.
No, there's a divider. I can't get into the driver's seat. I have to army crawl to the back door and click a little latch to climb on the back door. So if there was, God forbid, if there was someone that was watching me do this whole fiasco from a window, they see me get out of the driver's seat like, hold clinching my ass, run to the side door, jump in the side door, and then 2 minutes later, army crawl out the back door. And like, bear in mind, the cages are high, so I've got like this much room. So I'm like, literally, I had to like front roly-poly out the back of the van. And then I had to go and grab the bag of shit and throw it in the bin. And it was horrific, yeah? So God forbid someone saw that, man. I mean, call in if you saw it, because it was bad. But the bad bit is, a couple of the dogs, they don't look at me the same, man.
Really?
I feel like
They
they don't look at me the same, man.
Yeah.
Like they've almost got a disappointment in their eyes.
They're like, this is our leader.
Yeah.
They're like, this is who we follow.
This is our leader.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah. Imagine like you wearing like a Roman centurion helmet and they're just watching you like as your pathetic
It
lowest.
should be like if you're mad religious and you just see Jesus climb out the back of the van after
man.
shitting in the back. You'd be like, this is the guy. This is the guy we're following.
Or like Steve Jobs after giving like an Apple speech about the new MacBook and you just see him shitting in a bag, crawling out of the van. Oh, that is...
So it was horrible. I had a great, good Monday anyway. You know?
That is the funniest story you've ever told me. I'm crying. Have you told that on stage?
No.
Dude, I'm telling you, that is a killer bit.
You think so? But where's the
I know, that is murderous.
Where's the punchlines though?
You'll figure them out. You watch this back, you'll see where I laughed.
Yeah.
I'm like a sample size of 1.
Yeah.
Dude, that is one of that's like your closer.
You think so?
No doubt.
Oh shit! Okay.
No doubt about it. It's a story of like, I'll tell you about the most embarrassing day of my life.
Yeah.
And that's like, you close that, that's a 5-minute bit.
Yeah.
And when you're doing like a 15 or a 20 or even a 10, dude,
Yeah.
you fucking close with that.
Yeah.
And you find a way to just nip it in the bud and put a button on it at the end of it. And like, you know, like the dogs, the worst part is the dogs don't even look at me the same.
Yeah.
That's fucking...
That is a decent closer.
So, dude, that is so fucking funny.
Okay.
And the idea, like, once you figure out how to clarify, like, how to illustrate it, like, because at times it was a bit confusing. I didn't know the layout of the van and where you're crunching or crawling. Once you like lay out that bit of it, oh my God, dude, that is fucking hilarious.
Okay.
That, you shake my hand now.
I'll work on it. I'll work on it.
That
Good.
is
I got
fucking
something
great.
out of it. Then.
That
I got
is
something out of
fucking
it.
incredible.
Alright.
That is incredible. Dude, I'm crying.
Oh shit! Okay,
That's one of the funniest things you've ever told me.
I thought it was gonna be a sad story. Honestly, I
That's
thought it was gonna be
amazing.
sad.
The idea of like 5, like Dobermans, you know, just looking like there's Dobermans, Rottweilers, German Shepherds, and they're all just looking at you like this fucking pussy is.
Can't I?
He puts us on a leash.
Yeah.
you know? Yeah, that's the line.
That's good. This is our leader is a
Yeah.
great line. That was funny, man.
Yeah.
This is our leader. This is the guy who makes me sit. This is the guy. This is the guy.
Yeah. I got treats off this guy. Like, that's great. That's fucking so funny.
That
Oh
is
my God.
really funny, man.
How long
Jesus.
have we been going?
How
Hour and
long?
10. Hour and 10.
Are both of our mics on? I'm only seeing one bar go up here. Oh no, they
No,
are.
it fucking scared the shit out of me.
Jesus,
Don't
bro.
do that. Now you're making me
Jesus.
scared of it. Is the camera going? Yeah, we'll still go.
Hour and 10.
Hour and 10.
They're getting shorter. We're struggling here.
I don't know why though.
I don't know. What's going on with us, man?
Do you know what I think it is? I think it's because we're more stressed.
Yeah, we are stressed.
I think because we're more stressed and there's more pressure on it. Because we're now.
Do you know what? I
really
think
hard
after
now.
we had the banger of 4, I went into the next one like, because I even had all the setup with the balloons and that, and I was like, oh, this is about to be fire.
Yeah.
And it was, it was all right.
It was mid.
It wasn't great, to be honest.
Jesus Christ.
Shout out anyone who listened to that one. and this one.
Shout out anyone who's still listening.
Yeah.
You know what is funny? I looked at our episodes and everyone has just a bit lower views. It's
Really?
like episode 1 is like something.
Yeah,
episode 2
but that's just like mates and that, innit? Like,
yeah,
friends
it's
and
like a
things.
countdown clock, you know, for us until we
As soon as it hits 0, we're like,
Yeah.
Have you got anything? Have you got anything else to top that?
Nothing that I can top that.
Oh man,
Nothing
I
at all.
don't want that to go on the internet, honestly, but it has
It
to.
has to. It's so funny. Without it, this episode has.
I know we're gonna have to.
Without it, this episode is you doing maths on your phone.
I love the fact that we've gone from me being like some fucking bad boy to
Yeah.
me shitting in the back of a van.
How the mighty have fallen.
I know, man.
really
But can I
nice.
ask you, would you have done the same thing in my position? Because I felt I felt
100%.
weird about it, but I'm not gonna shit my pants.
No,
right?
100%. Also, we even talked about this. I've been considering van life. So
Oh, I know, but there's not 5 dogs looking at you in the eye.
yeah, but dude, if I'm on a residential road and there's no Costa or anything nearby, and I need to shit to the point where I'm like, if it is one of those ones where I'm like, my stomach is hurting and I know, and it feels like I can't trust my arsehole.
It's not. And here's the thing: it's not like I've farted, like risked a fart, and it's like no, my bum hole's already opened.
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
feel my bum hole is
So
enlarged.
if it's at that point where you're like, it's like level 7 red alert.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah.
You have 10 seconds. You know, if it's that bad and you have
You have 10 seconds.
no. What's the deactivation code? Disarm.
9, 8,
System cannot be overrided.
That's what it's like, though, bro.
If it was that, dude, if it was that bad, and I had a van with space, I had a bag that's literally designed for that.
But space is kind. There wasn't space. I was fucking cramped.
Also, when you do it on stage, you have to act it out. So you're like, I'm cramped in between 2
Yeah,
pages.
it was the position was literally like fucking like. You know,
and also
in Star Wars when the walls are closing in, it was like that.
And you should act down. And at one point, I'm halfway through, and I'm like, and I just look, and I see one of the dogs that just
Yeah, I just went,
like tilt his head. Yeah,
this is one of the dogs just shaking his head.
you know. But yeah, dude, if I had an enclosed space with a bag where it's literally a poo bag,
Yeah.
and I had fucking baby wipes.
Baby wipes, godsend. I mean, if I didn't have baby
100%.
wipes, what would I do?
Oh yeah, you'd have to throw away those clothes. But yeah, if I had that, yeah, that's of course I'd do the same thing. 100%. You did the right thing.
I've
never said that to someone who just told me they shat in front of 5 dogs
in
in
the
a
back
bag.
of a van as well.
In the back of a van in a bag, but that is actually the right thing.
I mean, like I said, if there was some kind of if I was like parked next to like the woodlands or something, I'd probably go and do it there. Do you know what I mean? Just a bit of breeze on the bollocks. You'd rather go in a van?
Yeah, because I like the idea of like in the woodlands, I'd be terrified someone's gonna walk by and see me.
Yeah, but you haven't seen the woodlands that I go to, man. There's just some secluded spots.
I guess you have to get really deep in the woods to make sure no one finds the bodies.
Yeah. Or the bags full of shit.
That's like your serial killer calling card. You're a serial killer.
This guy's a real sick bastard.
He does drawings of his shit. Every woman you kill, like every prostitute you kill, by her body, the detective just walks up and he's like, "What's the deal with this one, boss?" And he's like, "Check her out." And it's just a prostitute on the floor. She's been like brutally killed. The next, just a fucking Tesco's carrier bag of shit. What's in it? Just human feces.
That bastard's back again.
The bag shitter.
The bag shitter.
The bag shit killer.
The bag filler. But I will say I don't think people are gonna appreciate. I mean, some people will. People that have been close to shitting themselves, but it's a fucking like. It's almost like a near-death experience when you're about to shit your pants. It's a fucking scary thing, man.
It really is. It's very intense. But also, it's like that feeling when it's done. And
It is
and
really,
you just
yeah.
lower yourself onto a seat and go.
Yeah, but that's when you're lowering yourself
know what's
onto a
crazy?
bag.
Someone listening or watching this right now will really need to shit.
Yeah.
And they'll be in a situation where they're like, I need to
Hold
shit.
off. That's what I say.
It must
Hold
be
off.
really hard for you right now. Right?
Yeah. No, but here's the thing. So like, I was
You
trying
must
to
need to shit so badly right now.
I know.
Just like torture them.
plop, plop. But here's the thing. So I was trying to think of a bit before because I was driving home from work once and I was dying for a shit. Common theme, because you know I shit blood and stuff.
Yeah. Still crazy.
IBS.
Still crazy.
I'm driving home and I'm dying for a shit. And do you remember the advert, Mr. Greenlight?
I don't think so.
It was like green insurance or whatever, and it was like when you have green insurance, everything like you're Mr. Greenlight, and it's like every time he hits a traffic light, it's green.
Okay, no.
It was like a whole thing of
Okay.
It would be funnier if you knew it. But I was trying to think of a bit before. It was like when you need a shit, it's like you're Mr. Red Light. Because every time I'm dying for a shit, it's like every traffic light I hit is red, and I'm like, I'm gonna shit my pants, you know?
Yeah.
Like it is an intense situation to be
You
in.
could add that to the bit. You don't have to do the green light bit. You could just be like, and that's the thing. And when you need a shit, every light, you're Mr. Red Light.
It's red, yeah.
The green light thing I only know from the Matthew McConaughey thing. Matthew McConaughey wrote a book.
All right.
Yeah, he wrote a book about, I don't know, a couple of years ago.
Oh, I know. He promoted it.
It's called Green Lights.
Yeah, green.
And basically the whole point of the book is that
You-
when you think about life, when you think about where you're going, when you start thinking positively, you start noticing all the green lights.
Give me the whistle though. You hit the whistle a second ago.
You get those green lights.
Oh, that's good.
All right.
That was very
That's what I love
good.
about these high school girls, man.
T-
I keep
just
getting
do-
older and they stay the same age.
Do a little breakdown of you shitting in a bag in Matthew McConaughey's voice.
Oh man, I think it's coming out. I don't think I have any time. All I'm seeing is red lights, which is weird because I'm a pretty optimistic guy. Normally I see green lights, but right now it's nothing but red.
That's dope. I was looking at me funny.
I can't see any Costa. I'm not buying any Mickey D's. I gotta find a place to go. Well, I guess I could get in the back of the van. No, but I can't do that. But maybe I have to. All right. Shit. Bessie, look away.
Look away. Oh.
Oh, God. Oh, all these green ones. Those dogs never looked at me the same again.
You're going into Morgan Freeman now. You sound like Morgan.
Those dogs
never looked at me the same.
again. Old Andy Dufresne shat in the sewer.
Yeah.
He never looked at me the same again. That's big. Kenneth Spacey. I've tried to shit. Did you ever watch House of Cards?
No.
Oh, dude.
That's
one of my, I have to say,
the show about a politician.
Yeah, with the Kevin Spacey. I have to say, that's probably one of
Oh,
my
you
best
do a good Kevin
impressions.
Spacey.
Kevin Spacey in House of Cards.
No, I know you do.
as
You
Frank
do a
Underwood.
good Kevin Spacey, right?
It's okay, but my...
No, but I'm saying you and him got a lot in common.
Oh, because we're such esteemed actors and we're so respected for our art. Yeah, you're
Yeah, and
100%
all the
right.
other
And you got some other stuff in common with him too, right? Like
All the other stuff.
all the other stuff. You like groping little boys, right?
Yeah.
That's like your brand. Because for me, they go like, he's like Kevin. He reminds me of Kevin Spacey. Why? Because he's just so powerful and so moving. And then they go, that Ashley guy, yeah, he's got that kind of like, I wouldn't want to be near him at a party. You know,
Like shit in a bag.
Yeah. I've heard, isn't that the guy who should... That's what they do. They look at your pie, they go...
No,
"Was that guy
don't,
who
because
should-
this is why I didn't want to tell the story, because now when I'm at gigs, people are going, that's going to
This is the thing, we'll be out when the podcast gets big. We'll be at like an event or something around me, walking around, and they'll see me walk. I'll walk through a door first because like Alpha leads the way, and I'll walk through the door, and people will go, Ollie Rayhart, once in a generation, multi-millionaire, huge penis, right? And then you will walk through the door after me, right? And then you'll be walking and they'll go, Ashley Boomy, shit in a bag.
rug salesman.
Rugs. Did you say rug salesman? Rug salesman. Yeah.
Rug salesman, shit's in a bag.
No, that's what they do. This is what actually happens. You walk through the door and they go. They walk through the door and they go. Ashley Boomy, rough couple years.
You should have done it.
Why didn't he do it?
A rough couple
Apparently he couldn't afford rope. Rough couple years.
Fucking hell, man. You're a real piece of shit, you know that. That was crisp.
That was great.
Well, my story saved us, right?
100%. You
My
did.
story
You know what? I
saved
never
us.
thought I'd say that. You saved the day.
You brought nothing today. Can I
brought
say that?
shit.
You brought. Oh yeah, but that was shit, right? That was alright. It was okay.
Yeah, maybe it just took us longer to warm up.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I never thought I'd say this. Good job.
I think next time we need to get blackout drunk.
No,
because
we get messier.
I think we need to say some slurs into the
No,
camera.
we don't
That's
need to
what
say
I think. I
slurs.
want you to be your true self, how you are when the camera turns on. I want you to be saying all that stuff you said about Chinese people earlier, and that's what I want. I want it on camera.
You want evidence of it.
Yeah, I want it on. I want it out there.
Gillis 2.0. And build a career out
We're
of
gonna
it.
go watch him.
I would love to.
If I can get the
Dude, if you get
thing.
tickets, I'm fucking 100%.
We might have a box, bro.
Dude, if we're in a box,
If we're in a
then
box,
yeah,
that'd be gangster.
But it'd be gangster, but it'd be funny if he's like, yeah, fuck those guys up in the box.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
fucking gay.
Fucking gay.
Yeah, not a man of the people if you're up in the box. They're like, yeah, let's boo the box guys. And we're like, yeah, brilliant.
That'd be good.
We want to be you. You know?
Please.
Yeah, no, I definitely want to see him live. That'd be sick.
that'd be
I've
fun.
seen him live already, but
I've not seen him live before, so that'd be really good.
Yeah, it was good. It'd be fun. All right, I think we're done.
I think that's it,
Yeah,
yeah.
we're done good. All right.
To be honest, I think can we agree we've been going for like an hour and a half, hour and 40 every time, or like hour and 20.
This is an hour and 20-ish.
An hour is good, I think. I think we need to
An hour
boil it
is
down
good.
to an hour.
An hour is good, but then
we're
we need to-
giving the people too much.
We are. For free.
Yeah.
As well.
No, I think an hour is actually a nice time for a podcast.
No, an hour is,
because at
also-
least people want it more.
But the good thing is that also if we're doing for like an hour and 20, then like the dead bits we can cut out, which means that we have an hour of like actually watching.
But I mean, in
also,
like,
this is we shouldn't be talking about this in front of them, you know? This
oh,
is
but
kind of-
fuck them. There's no
like-
one listens to this, bro. It's like 5 people, maybe.
Yeah, true.
Hey, just
generous.
name the people that listen to it that we know listen to it. Just shout out your friends that actually listen to this shit.
You know what's sad? Can't even shout that out. Don't even know who does. No, you know what? Actually, no, I do. Shout out Orson. I think Dan as well. Shout out Orson.
Yovan listens.
Yovan does listen.
Yeah. Pick up Yovan.
I think Diesel listens. So
Diesel
shout out
listens. Banff might listen now and then. If he doesn't,
I
fuck
don't know
him.
if I know anyone else.
George.
It's kind of sad. George definitely doesn't.
My George will listen.
My George doesn't go fuck.
Maybe my mum.
Yeah.
If she's
My
not
mum doesn't.
busy.
I've told her not to.
Yeah, it's not good for them to hear this. Your mum's so wholesome, by the way. Your mum's a
Yeah.
lovely, lovely lady. I think I said this to you before. She's
She
so
is.
nice.
She's very wholesome lady.
Very, very lovely lady.
That's why I don't want her to watch. You know,
She's
Three Fists,
lovely.
You know, yeah.
No, she's right.
What?
Yeah, she's just lovely.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's so lovely.
I know. Thank
Yeah,
you.
inside and out.
Huh?
Just love her. Right? No, I'm just saying. I love your mum.
Thank you. I love her too.
Yeah,
great.
she's gorgeous.
Okay.
She's beautiful.
Yeah. Yes.
Lovely human being.
Thank you,
She
man.
bakes cakes.
I wish I could say the same thing about your mum.
You don't know her yet.
Don't want her though.
You
right?
wouldn't say it
Smell
anyway.
her already from far enough away. No,
all jokes aside.
I've read the newspaper clippings.
She's Tom.
Yeah. First woman to ever be lifted out of her house with a crane. Industrial size crane. No, she could be really skinny. I have no idea what she's like.
My mum's a beautiful lady,
joking, I'm
but
joking. I'll find
my
her.
mum's just a bit. My mum's you know, she's a bit more rough around the edges. Your mum is very like your mum. It reminds me of like a Disney character. She's very
She is.
lovely and sweet, and
She is very lovely.
you know, she's wow. I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you.
I'm gonna fuck his missus. All right. Oh fuck.
All right, well, yeah, we're done.
That was actually pretty good by the end.
I
Right?
mean, it was okay.
No fucking. What are you doing?
Sorry,
If
man.
we don't have confidence in the product,
Yeah, it was great.
It's the whole purpose of it.
It was great.
Right, that was great.
Yeah.
Subscribe.
Like, subscribe, follow,
and
share.
and watch.
Yeah. Love you all.
Love all 5 of you. Yeah.